Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually program a button to do something in Unity. Now, we're not going to do anything flashy in the scene here. We're going to make it actually just print something out in the debug log, but when we actually press the button. So I'm going to go to this little folder up here I made earlier called code, right-click it, and say create C# script. Now, when I create a script, I want it to be named something that kind of makes sense for my game. So this is going to be to do with the user interface. So I'm going to call it user interface. You notice I haven't used any spaces in the name of my script there. It's all one word, user interface. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. You'll see it's created some stuff for me, which is great. I don't really need this stuff right now. I'll go over what this stuff does later if we need it. But for now, I'm going to delete it, making sure I leave my two little curly braces. I want to make a new method or a new function that I can call. So I'm going to type in public. Public means everyone can see it, or everything in the engine can see it. I say void. I'm going to call this debug hello world. It's my little function name. Close it up with some braces. Put some little curly brackets in. And here I'm going to say debug.log hello world. So when I call this function, it's going to do something called debug.log, which is just print out a little log saying hello world for me. So I'm going to save it, come back here. Now, if it doesn't throw any errors, it means I'm all good. Now, this needs to be on something in the scene, this script. C# is called an object-oriented language. If the code isn't on an object, it means it doesn't know what it is. So I'm going to click and drag this user interface script onto my little game object called UI. Makes sense that the user interface script goes on the UI object in the scene. I'm going to let go. Now, if I click on UI, bam, you see it's actually added over here, user interface. And if I click it, it shows me where that script is. So I've got that now. That script is in my scene. So I'm going to save it. So I want this to actually do something. Now I'm going to press play up here. Play actually plays our game scene. I'm going to press play. And you'll see my script is successfully doing nothing. I can kind of click on my buttons and hover over them, but they're not really doing anything yet. I'm going to unplay it. Because I want to map, that button doesn't know that it needs to use that function. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on that button. I'm going to use the previous day button for now. You'll see down in the inspector, under button, it has an on-click list. If I press this little plus, it creates a little object for me. So I can actually click and drag. I put that script on my UI object. So I'm going to drag that object into that little box to say, hey, you're going to have a look on that object and you're going to use the function. So let's click it. User interface, that's the script that I made. And I think I called it debug hello world. So I'm going to click on that. So it's going to now say, hey, when I click on you, go to the script on this object called user interface and run the method or function debug hello world. So if I run this now and I click on previous day, bam, you'll see down in the corner here, it's actually printed out a little thing saying hello world. If I click on it, it shows me, it says hello world. I'll click it again, bam, hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world. So I've actually mapped a function, a button, to a particular function. It actually tells you where, what line, everything like that. This is where all your scary errors appear too. But as easy as that, I've actually programmed my button to do something when I click it. And it's that easy.